so much. It's wonderful to be here. Happy Monday. I'm going to just introduce myself really quick. Amy Westfall, Director of Admissions for Art and Architecture at the Cooper Union. I'm also a proud School of Art alumni and adjunct faculty in the art school. And I'm just going to ask my colleague Hala to say hello as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hala Al-Qasim. I'm the Director of International Students and Scholars Office. I pretty much do everything international, so anything that you need while you're in the US. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and hopefully we'll have some time. I'm going to try to talk a little bit fast, hopefully not too fast for you, because I want to allow time at the end for questions if you have it. Okay, so I'm just going to play from the start and sorry, give it me a second. It's not showing up. Can you see my screen? Is my presentation?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, it's strange. My screen is black. Oh, there we go. I guess it just took a minute to wake up.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the, oops, did my presentation, did it disappear?
It's still there, but it's just not in presentation mode. We can see the.
I'm so sorry. Let me try one more time. It like, as soon as I started moving slides, it bounced back. Okay.
It does that with the internet sometimes.
Yeah. Would be my luck that it's still doing it, isn't it? Oh boy, my apologies. Hopefully nobody else will have this this issue. Let me try one more time from the current slide. Maybe it'll like that better. 1 second, it's still showing a black screen. Okay, there we go. Yay, you can see it, yes? Thumbs up?
Yeah. But it's still, now you're still in the, it's not in the presentation mode yet.
Oh, you can't see founding mission? It's full screen for me in presentation mode.
Press play from start on the left. Maybe that may, yeah. That's, oh, and it keeps going back.
Right, that's what I've been doing, and it hasn't been to. Let me try it one more time. I'm so sorry to the audience.
You can send it to me too if it's easy. And I can...
Okay, how about now? Can you see it now?
It's still in the, it's not in presentation mode, but we can see the slides.
That's fine. It works, Amy.
Shoot, it's in presentation mode still? I'm so sorry.
It works. I mean, we could still see it. It's just, we could see the rest of the slides on the left.
Oh, that is so strange. I have no idea why it's doing this. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, anyway, I'll try to, move through. So a little bit about Cooper Union. Cooper was founded in 1859 by the inventor, industrialist, and philanthropist Peter Cooper. It was his mission and idea to prepare students to make enlightened contributions to society through outstanding academic programs through art, architecture, and engineering. He was a very interesting man. He even ran for president once. Sorry again about this presentation mode. Okay, how about now? Is it full screen? Great. Okay. So we are a very small school. We are 3 programs: art, architecture, and engineering. Our student body is just around 900 for all 4 years. So just to tell you how small we are. And we are located in the East Village. We have 3 buildings, very small campus. We have our main foundation building, which is the building in the center, a dormitory across the street, and our building across the street, 41 Cooper Square, is where mostly the engineering labs and classrooms are, as well as the humanities offices and some art studios and a gallery. So
Very, very small, but we're in this vibrant East Village neighborhood. So there's lots of, interesting things happening in terms of art and culture. So it's a really fun place to be. To tell you a little bit about the art school, our job is to educate artists in the broadest sense, both as creative practitioners engaged with a wide range of disciplines in the visual arts, but also to make them enlightened citizens who we feel are going to be prepared to go back out into the world and question and transform society. This is very important to us. So you'll learn a little bit more about why shortly. Okay. Um, what makes Cooper Union so unique or special? The faculty participate in all the recruitment and admissions for the School of Art. The faculty work together and they actually construct a class. They're not just, taking people with the best portfolio per se. They're working to take a group that will work well together. Okay. So we're highly selective. Um, in the School of Art, we admit 65 freshmen a year approximately, and about 5 to 10 transfers depending on the year. So at this moment, we are about at an 8.5 acceptance rate. So for that reason, we have really small class sizes. There's lots of individual attention. We also focus a lot on our humanities and critical thinking, which are very important to us. We believe that a good artist is a well-rounded artist, someone who can do many different things. And for that reason, we actually don't ask our students to pick a major. We have what's called as an integrated program or generalist program. We have studio space for all our students after foundation year, which is really amazing considering New York City real estate. Spaces are very small, especially your living space. So we create separate spaces for students to be at. And we have a lot of distinguished artists on the faculty. Our faculty are exhibiting artists. They're showing their work all over the world. They're making incredible contributions to society. So we're very, very lucky to have that. And then we have incredible alumni out there doing amazing things, almost too many for me to talk about in this short period of time. But if you don't believe me, please just Google Cooper Union alumni. I think you'll see a very diverse group out there. Okay. So the curriculum for the first year, for the foundation year, is very set. It's actually the only year that's really set and designed for you. So you're going to do basic drawing, 2D design, 3D design, 4D design, which is time-based work, color theory, techniques, intro to art histories, and our humanities core 1 and 2. So this is sort of a leveling of the playing field. We're taking people from all walks of life, different backgrounds from all over the world. Despite your training, we're putting you all together and we're starting you off at the same place with our foundation year, okay? Then after that, you can take classes in any area of interest to you. We have painting, drawing, printmaking, photography, film, video, graphic design, sculpture, performance, and we have an array of electives, everything from things like typography and paper making to casting techniques, sound design, so lots of things to choose from. We also have an exchange program. These are the countries that we have an exchange program with. Students typically apply for this in their junior year, and they have to be in good academic standing in order to qualify. One of the most amazing things about Cooper Union, the facilities. So we have incredible facilities and studio spaces. The photo that you're looking at the right is an aerial view of our studio spaces in the 6th floor of the foundation building, which has the beautiful skylights for light. We also have amazing a wood shop. We also have a brand new ACE fabrication lab, which has laser cutters, CNC machines, an embroidery machine that all run off Rhino. We have dark rooms, print shops. We have lots of computer labs where you can print things for free. So lots of spaces for making. We also have a pre-college program. The Saturday program is specifically for New York City public high school students, but what's fantastic about it is it's part of a teaching as collaborative social practice course that we offer. So if you are thinking about a career as an educator and you'd like to get involved and try teaching, we invite students to come and participate in teaching in this program. We also have a summer art intensive program. This is for mostly out of state students. So this one is taught by professional artists, and we do have scholarships available. It runs only in the summer. We have, like I said, we have a dormitory across the street. It's pretty standard residential hall dorm. It's apartment style, suite style. Each one has a bathroom, kitchen, usually shared bedrooms, although we do have some singles. But it's wonderful because it's right across the street. We also have some tuition and financial aid that I think will be really appealing to you. One of the things that makes Cooper really unique is that every student admitted to the school receives a half tuition scholarship. So this scholarship is valued at $22,275. And that is for all 4 years, okay? In addition, we have other merit-based scholarship that's available. This is something that's at our discretion. There isn't anything else you would need to do for it. And then we do have other need-based available and on-campus work opportunities. So to talk a little bit about our international student population, 20% of our student body is international. We have students from 42 different countries around the world. We have lots of, HALA works very closely with all of our international students in terms of orientation, visa and tax support, work permission, immigration advisement, travel regulations, and just generally getting used and acclimated to New York City. So she plays a very important role for our international students. You wouldn't necessarily meet her during the admissions process. You would be working more closely with her once you've been admitted and deposited as a student. There are some, F1 visa things that she can talk to you about. Hala, did you want to talk about Canada at all?
Sure. Well, the good thing about Canada is as soon as you get your I-20, which you have to submit some financial documents to prove you're able to sustain yourself pretty much financially for the entire time that you're in the U.S. And some other documents that are in the application, but that's the main thing, is that you have to provide financial documents to support your stay. Once I have all those documents, I provide you with an I-20. And the good thing about Canadians, you're able to get your visa at the border. You don't have to make an appointment at an American embassy. You just take your I-20 and pretty much they stamp it for you at the border. You just have to let them know that you're an F1 student, which they should know off of your I-20. I can continue. It's very simple if you want. It's just the resources for DACA and refugees in case anyone needs them. I help them with that. And then as far as employment, which is a very big question for international students, you're able to work on campus for up to 20 hours while school is in session. And you're able, or full-time when school is on holiday, like on breaks in the summer and Christmas break and so forth. We offer CPT, which is a curricular practical training, and that's only offered for the Masters of Architecture students and engineering, at least at Cooper. It depends on the school, but we have that internship option for those two degrees. And you get it through me. It's very simple. And then you have OPT, which is optional practical training, and that's offered for you after you graduate for an entire year. You could stay in the US an additional year while you have a chance to pretty much get an internship for end of the year. And then for our STEM degree programs, you have the option to extend it for OPT STEM, which is an additional 2 years. Altogether, you have 3 years additional if you have a STEM degree. And we have engineering and the Masters of Architecture as STEM degrees, not art, unfortunately. And then, are you guaranteed housing? We try our best to, as far as I know, it's available for freshman year students, but it's not a guarantee. And then, are there scholarships available? Everyone gets 50% scholarship for undergrad students once they're admitted. And then I have the additional options for international students that they can seek externally outside Cooper. I think that's it. Back to you, Amy.
Yeah, thank you, Hala.
No problem.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about now the process of applying to the School of Art, which is very nuanced and very specific to us. But one thing I want to encourage you as a next step after today, if you're interested in Cooper, is connecting with us for an open house or portfolio review. So we have 2 open houses coming up in the School of Art. We have one on November 13th and one on December 5th. This is basically comprised of a talk by our dean, our chair of admissions, myself, and then you would receive a portfolio review. Okay, maybe you can't make one of those dates because they're in person this year, which I understand. There are other opportunities through the National Portfolio Day Association. They are hosting a series of virtual events that we will be participating in as well. So you might ask, why should I attend a portfolio review? So for us, the portfolio review really is important because it acts as a one-way interview. This is the only opportunity to meet us. Okay, we don't do interviews during admission season. You might also receive some really helpful feedback about your work, which might help you with shaping your portfolio and things like that. And they might actually give you some really helpful notes, you know, things like artists to look up, or maybe some, you know, shows that you should go see, things like that. So I always encourage people to take notes. You're probably asking, what should I present? Well, you want to put your best foot forward always when you come to these. So you want to present your most recent work, meaning anything done in the last 2 years. 2 years is really probably the most furthest back I would go. Work done independently, things that you've done on your own, not just assignments, okay? And if you're seeing us in person, bring as much physical work as you can. I think everybody's a little digitally zoomed out and they like to actually handle and see real work. Observational work, any observational drawings you have, they love to see. Sketchbook, they love paging through those. And again, anything for taking notes, because they're probably going to give you some feedback. I'm just trying to emphasize that because people sometimes contact us later like, I forgot what they said. So a little bit about our application process. I'm going to go devoid here of photos because I want you to focus on this very nuanced process. So like a lot of schools that are here today, probably, we are on the Common App. So the Common App and filling out your application, if you're a first-year student, is the first step, okay? If you're not a first-year student, if you're a transfer student, there's a different application for you, and that's available on our website. As always, there's an application fee attributed with applying. You might want to talk to your school counselors. There might be fee waivers that you're available to you. And then we want to see your transcripts or GED. If you're a transfer student, we definitely want to see all the college transcripts that you've, from all the schools that you've attended. So please don't forget those. Letters of recommendation, very important. 1 for first year, 2 for transfers. If you want to send 2 for first year, you're welcome to as well. You know, that should be from whoever can speak the best about your work, your commitment, your drive and desire as an artist, and perhaps even why Cooper's community would be the right fit for you. We are test optional this year. We were last year as well. So it's totally up to you if you want to submit test scores. No pressure there. And then if English is not your first language, we are going, and you've studied less than 3 years at an English speaking school, we would require your TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo test scores as well. Step 3 is submit your home test. Okay, so you're wondering probably at this point in my presentation, home test? What is the home test? It is very unique to Cooper Union. No other school has the home test. So the home test is really the most, I can't emphasize, really the most important part of our application process. So this is something that's designed by the Faculty Admissions Committee each year. And it really consists of 6 visual problems that we ask you to draw or represent, and you get a month to complete it, okay? So what is the home test like? So I can't show you any images or examples of the home test because remember, again, it is a test, okay? But I can tell you that the prompts are sort of designed to test not only your, eye-hand coordination, right? Because at least two of them have to be drawn. But it's also about, looking at your creativity, your ability to interpret the problems. We're looking for originality, and how you solve these problems. And it's always really interesting. I consider it kind of a little bit of a social experiment. And I can tell you, having worked with the School of Art Admissions Committee for, this is my 22nd year, I can tell you that it absolutely works. Now, remember at the beginning of my talk when I said that the art acceptance rate was very, was 8.5%, and you were like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So while we might get a lot of applications, in the upwards of, almost 900 applications, only, I'm giving you a tip, only about half that actually apply and submit the application will actually finish and complete the home test. You see where I'm going with this? The home test kind of acts like a filter. I don't know, maybe people are like, oh, this is too much work, it's not for me. I don't have the time, and that is something that the home test is designed to do. It's also about time management. And it's about your commitment to us. We only want people who want us and want to go through this rigorous process with us. It's the beginning of a conversation, we like to say. So really, I'm jumping down a little bit to my advice portion. Answer all 6 prompts and you'll be good, okay? Like, don't do the test or only do 2 of the prompts. You're not going to fare very well. So how would you receive the home test? The home test is something that's going to go live in your applicant portal about 1 week after our application deadline closes. So once you submit your Common App, you'll get the login information for your applicant portal. That's basically the place that tells you what documents have been submitted or what you're missing, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then how do I submit my home test? Well, last year, we had to sort of pivot with the pandemic and we had only an electronic submission. This year, we are going back to a physical submission. We want you to mail in the solutions for the prompts to us. That's the first step. And we also want you to upload a digital copy as well in your applicant portal. God forbid anything else happens. Okay, so that is how you submit it. My advice is read all the instructions very, very, very carefully, because there are requirements in terms of size, in terms of media. We say things like no breakable materials, no dead animals, things like that. Okay, so just read all those instructions very carefully. The other thing is, if you happen to apply and you don't see an email from us like saying, hey, your test is available now, I would check your junk and spam folders, because sometimes our emails go to people's junk and spam for whatever reason. So if you want to be on the safe side, always add the admissions@cooper.edu to your address book, okay? And then there's a couple other small materials that we include in our application process. There's a questionnaire that comes with the home test that's very important to us. This sort of tells us more about the person. What books are you reading? What are your interests? Why are you applying to Cooper? Be thoughtful with your answers. I can tell you that one-word answers do not impress the committee. You don't have to write a novel for every answer, but I do encourage you to write thoughtfully. This is a college application. Make sure you're doing spell check and grammar check, okay? Because they get crazy when they read Copper Union instead of Cooper Union. Apologies for the jump ahead there. We also love to look at sketchbooks. If you're sending this in physically, it is something you will get returned to you, okay? And then the portfolio. So what should the portfolio be? It should be 15, 20 to 20 of your strongest, most recent works, okay? Don't send things that are not completed. Don't send things that you did in 8th grade. Those will not impress the committee, okay? Always a good idea to have observational drawing included. Always good to have variety to keep the committee interested. Experimentation is good. Self-directed projects are good. No, not just assignments. We don't want to see just things that have been done in class, okay? Try to expand it a little bit. And if you have videos or performance pieces that are lengthy, I would recommend editing them down to 2 to 3 minutes, under 5 minutes tops, okay? But you can always allude in your materials that it's part of a longer piece if you want, okay? But just be mindful the committee is looking at hundreds of applications and they don't have the time to, to watch everything. And then, include the title, year, dimensions in the medium. I think that's totally helpful to have. And then if you do 3-dimensional work and you want to have multiple views of a piece to show scale, you are absolutely welcome to do that as well. Okay. So this is the application process. Okay. Now, important dates I'm going to go over really quick. We have two. We have early decision, we have regular decision. Early decision is what we consider binding. So early decision is if you know that Cooper is your top school, you have eyes for no other school and you want to know sooner than later. We want people who want us. Apply early, absolutely fine. There's 3 things that can happen when you apply early. We can say yes, we can say no, and we can roll you over and reconsider you again in the regular decision pool. That's giving you a second shot, okay? So if you are admitted early decision, you will have to commit. It is binding. You will have to turn down any offer anywhere else, okay? So the application for early decision is due December 1st. The test gets released December 8th. You have a month to do it. Oops, there's a typo there. Wednesday, January 5th is when the test is due. Notification is February 1st, and then you can sit back and, relax the rest of spring. However, if you are not sure about art school, you're not sure about New York City, you're just not sure what you want. Maybe it's a financial consideration for you. Maybe you want to roll the dice and apply to 10 schools and see who gives you the best offer. That's totally legitimate. Regular decision would be the better option for you then. So that application is due January 5th. The test is released January 7th. Again, you have a month to complete it. So February 4th is when it's due. And then our notification is April 1st. Okay, so you have to kind of decide what works for you timing wise. Okay, maybe you want more time to do your portfolio or put that together. Totally legitimate. We have, I'm sure there's lots of questions. I'm almost out of time and I'm going to try to answer in 5 minutes the questions that you might have, but we're always available. admissions@cooper.edu is how you reach us, okay? And I am always available. I'll put my my email address in the chat as well. And please find us on social media. We've got lots of social media presence, Instagram, YouTube channel, etc. Okay. All right. So I have 5 minutes to ask and answer, I should say. You're going to do the asking. I'm answering. You must have questions because I went through that really fast after I got the presentation going.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry about the technical problem at the beginning.
No, it's fine. I can start off with a question. Could you tell us, I'm sorry, I can't remember if you covered this already, but could you tell us about the sort of average class size?
Oh, sure. So the class size in the School of Art, I would say the maximum is around 15 to 17 in a full class, in a big class. However, the advanced level courses tend to be smaller, more like 8, 9. Yeah.
Awesome.
So very, very intimate.
Great. And do you have any advice for applicants?
Oh, I do. I would always say be yourself. Okay. Put your best foot forward. With the test, with the home test, don't think of it like a test because otherwise you'll freeze up. Maybe you're not a good test taker like me. Have fun with the test. Think of it, approach it like it's your own problem or your own work. Make that kind of investment in it. And then in the written materials, this is where we kind of learn a lot about the person, the individual. So that's a great place to shine, if you've been involved in any volunteer activities or you know, you have a passion or a vision, something that you want to accomplish, you know, that's where you really should put your shine onto it as well. Because, you know, they're kind of looking at the whole person, you know, not just one thing in the application, looking at everybody holistically. And sometimes it's what people write that helps also tipping the scale. So.
Great. And we have a question from the chat. Someone wants to know, oh, it just jumped on me. Where did it go? Okay, so someone asked, what's the advantage of taking your architecture program compared to other top architecture schools in the US?
Well, we didn't even get to talk about architecture today. I'll have to come back and talk about architecture because that's a whole other program and a different beast. The architecture school is incredibly sophisticated and very, very small. We only admit about 25 to 30 in architecture a year. So for that reason, that teacher to student ratio is even smaller yet. And sometimes you will have, you know, 2 or 3 professors in a design studio course in architecture. Very intense. And they also have a studio test in their admissions process, similar to the home test. But unfortunately, probably won't have enough time to get into that today, but just so you're aware. Yeah.
Great. And I have one more question from the chat. Hopefully we can squeeze this one in. Is the acceptance rate of 8.5% for fine art school or overall for all three of your schools? And they just want to make sure that the Cooper Union doesn't need a portfolio for the architecture program.
Oh, sure. So 8.5 is just for art. The acceptance rate for architecture is 3.5, even smaller. Sorry. So yeah, and the architecture school does not require a portfolio, only for transfer applicants. For first year applicants, it's completely what you do in the studio test solutions. But art does require a portfolio.
Awesome.